Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. In the last episode, we finished off some side questing, and we were about to begin with another round of party camp talks. Now, before we get into that, I found out that the small carved statuette is a gift for Alistair, so we can hand that over.
Is that for me?
There you go, bud.
Really? Wow. Wow.
Well, he's certainly happy with it. Okay, now then, before we actually get to the talking, I wanted to go and have a chat with Bodahn. I have a lot of stuff in my inventory I need to sell.
If there's anything I can do for you, please tell me.
You know, we might as well ask one of these questions while we're here. But where do these goods come from? Not the deep roads.
Look, we don't rob people, all right? We don't take things from people that need them. The things in the Law's ties, what good did they do lying there? I brought them back to Orzammar, where people could look at them and remember. It's not all that different up here. There are places long abandoned by the humans everywhere. Even more now with the Darkspawn coming.
What do you mean, you opportunistic scoundrel? Ooh. So, with the Tigers, the dwarves, the dwarves abandoned them centuries ago, and the Darkspawn have been knocking about in there, ever since. That's one thing. But if he's talking about places where the humans have only just left and might one day come back, for all I know, he could be talking about ruins. What do you mean?
People flee from the
Oh my
blight
God.
with good reason, but they forget things. Things with value and meaning. They leave them behind because they're frightened and desperate. And sometimes, my boy and I, we find our way to these places before the Horde descends, and we save these things. I take them away so the Darkspawn don't get them. Is that so bad? They destroy everything they touch.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if he was talking about ruins, fair enough. No, he's talking about people's homes where they might return one day and, all of their stuff's gone. I suppose it's better than having the Darkspawn take it all. The blight will not last forever. Everyone has to make a living somehow. Yeah. I kind of wish you opportunistic scoundrel was on this list of options, but the blight will not last forever.
No, of course not. And when it ends, I will go back to finding ruins, or move on. I don't really have much of a choice.
Okay, so he was doing that with ruins, and now that the blight's... Oh, Bodahn. Again, I wish Artin could call him an opportunistic scoundrel, but we lost that opportunity, unfortunately. Let me see your wares, Bodahn.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Scummy tactics there, Bodahn. Okay, we can get rid of this dagger. And I think at this stage we can get rid of Sir Garland's sword. And the Wild's bow. Let's see. Nothing here that I'm too interested in. I'm thinking I might sell the Reaper's Cudgel. I don't tend to use maces. You know what? Morrigan, what do you have? These aren't that much better than what she has. And Wynne? Again, not that much better. I'm not going to use this. My one thing is that it is so much money. Then again, I don't think I buy that much. Go on. And yeah, we can sell all of these because we sorted out inventory in the last episode. These aren't better. The heavy plate boots we're gonna keep. Just want to check. Leliana and Zevran. Yeah, we can get rid of these. Alistair has something that's better, and Sten also has something that's better, so we can get rid of these. That is exactly the same as what he has, but that's worse. Yeah, so we can get rid of both of these. We can get rid of Havard's Aegis. These can all go, and Puppy. No, not Alistair. Thorin, there we go. Yeah, that can go. Gonna keep all of those. Okay, so what did he have? Nothing there. Nothing here, I do believe. Ooh. That is quite nice, but Alistair can't use it just yet. So I'll give it a pass for now. Anything here? The spell ward is very nice. But I'm going to leave it for now. And anything knocking about here? I don't think there is. Got some runes. I will grab the health potions. Just in case. Okie doke, that's grand. And I don't need to sell anything here. Okay, there we go. Good stuff. Now then, I'm thinking I'm going to start off with Thorin.
Oh, look at what your fool dog placed in my pack.
He wags his tail.
A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
It's the thought that counts. He means well. Can't be stinkier than what normally goes into them. Nice. I think he thinks you need more meat on your bones. Why doesn't he share his food with me? I don't like any of these options. Definitely not number 2, that's far too crude. Number 4 sounds a little bit whiny to me. And how are we supposed to know what a dog is thingy? So that leaves me with number 1. I'm not too happy about it, but it's the thought that counts. He means well.
The dirty mongrel can have this back. There. And tell him not to do it again.
Don't do it again. You're a war dog, not a nursemaid. You heard the lady. It was a gift. You can't just throw it away like that. Don't do it again. You're a war dog, not a nursemaid. He hangs his head. Aww. I'm sorry, puppy, but you can't be putting half-eaten carcasses in Morrigan's stuff. It's not polite. Now then, Zevran.
Here I am.
Care to answer some questions? I want to discuss something personal. Never mind. Care to answer some questions?
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
What does it take to become an assassin? Why did you want to leave the Crows exactly? Tell me a little about Antiva. Let's move on. So Zevran is a recent acquisition? Is that what you call it? He did try to kill us. So Artin, I think she's trying to gauge where this guy's at. Is he going to try and kill us in our sleep? Is he going to try and poison our food? I think she's definitely keeping quite a close eye on him. Tell me a little about Antiva.
Oh, you wish to know about Antiva, do you? The only way to truly appreciate it would be to go there. It is a warm place, not cold and harsh like this Ferelden. In Antiva it rains often, but the flowers are always in bloom. Or so the saying goes.
and it has assassins. Don't you want to go back? You don't like Ferelden? You don't like Ferelden?
It is fine enough with its dogs and its mud. The people are spirited, even if they can't tell the difference between an assassin and a mere killer. I hail from the glorious Antiva city, home to the royal palace. It is a glittering gem amidst the sand, my Antiva city. Do you come from someplace comparable?
I am from Orzammar, of course. I'm not from any glittering gem. No, of course, my mother was better than any gem. Why, you want to compare? Don't be an idiot. Yeah, as I've mentioned, Artin is very proud of where she comes from. She loves her home. I'm from Orzammar, of course.
Ah, yes, the city of lava and stone. It too is beautiful, in its way. Sad that it will never see sunlight or smell the salt of the ocean, however. You know what is most odd? We speak of my homeland, and for all its wine and its dark-haired beauties and the lilo flutes of the minstrels, I miss the leather the most.
Now that is odd. Is that some kind of euphemism? This I have to hear. Is that some kind of euphemism?
It may as well be. But not this once, no. I mean the smell. For years, I lived in a tiny apartment near Antiva City's leather-making district, in a building where the crows stored their youngest recruits, packed in like crates. I grew accustomed to the stench, even though the humans complained of it constantly. To this day, the smell of fresh leather is what reminds me most of home more than anything else.
You sound like you've been away from home forever. That's a little bizarre. There's leather everywhere. Really, you smell a cesspool and think of home. It is odd, but... like, I imagine that the smell of embers on the fire make Artin think of home from, you know, the smell of the lava. So... I don't think she's in any place to judge what, you know, reminds someone of home. But I think she can pick up on the fact that he does sound a bit wistful. You sound like you've been away from home forever.
Oh, not so long, I know. It is my first time away from Antiva, however, and the thought of never returning makes me think of it constantly. Before I left, I was tempted to spend what little coin I possessed on leather boots I spotted in a store window. Finest Antivan leather, perfect craftsmanship. Ah, but I was a fool to leave them. I thought, Zevran, you can buy them when you return as a reward for a job well done. More the fool I, no?
Your home is still there, Zevran. I asked you about Antiva, not your leather fetish. The job being killing me, right? No Antivan boots for you. Yeah, and Antiva may be far away, but it is still there. Your home is still there, Zevran.
True, and it's a comforting thought. One simply never knows what is to come next. How could I have suspected I would end up defeated by a beautiful Grey Warden, a woman who then spares my life? I could not.
Now you're flattering me. Beautiful, is it? Everyone makes mistakes. You need to make the most of where you are. Don't make me change my mind. I don't know what she'd go with. I think she's picking up on the fact that he is trying to flirt with her, and she would not be responsive to that. No thank you. I'm trying to pick, like, I think her mind is also going that, like, don't make him think you're interested. This guy tried to kill you. You don't date people who tried to kill you. That's just asking for disaster. Number 4's pretty polite. You need to make the most of where you are.
Quite right you are. I see the Grey Wardens do not recruit fools. Now, if it is all the same to you, I would prefer not to speak more of Antiva. It makes me wistful and hungry for a proper meal.
Hey, we got +4. Nice. And once more.
Here I am.
Care to answer some questions?
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
We've only just met him. So I don't think, like, Artin's curiosity hasn't been piqued yet. He wanted to stop being an assassin. That's as good a reason as any to want to leave the Crows. What does it take to become an assassin?
Well, the Crows would have you believe that it is an involved process that takes years of training, the sort that tests both your resolve and your endurance. Survive that process and maybe, just maybe, you're good enough to start being considered one of them. But quite frankly, the truth is that all it requires is a desire to kill people for a living. It's surprising how well one can do in such a field.
So you have to be a murderer. It doesn't take any special skill. You did quite well, no doubt. Well, I mean, of course you have to be a murderer to be an assassin. It doesn't take any special skill?
I don't know about that. It's simply a slightly different skill set from your average killer, as I see it. An assassin simply specializes in striking from stealth, and in maximizing that first attack to be as lethal as possible. Debilitate your foe, either by poison or by crippling their limbs, makes any follow-up combat you need to engage in that much simpler.
That sounds like it could be useful. I'd prefer a straight-up battle. You always use poison then? Considering that Artin is an assassin... That sounds like it could be useful.
See? Getting paid for the act is beside the point. An assassin is more a tactical choice than a lifestyle. Of course, the Crows like to pretend that their abilities are trade secrets, shrouded in shadows and wrapped in a blanket of mystery. So let's just keep this between you and me, shall we?
Okie doke. Thank you for the chat, Sevran. Now then, Leliana.
Have I ever told you I really like the way you wear your hair?
Oh, thank you. My hair? Thank you. No, I don't believe you have. It's just hair. Really? It's so stubborn sometimes. So... Artin... How do I put this? I think a character's appearance can really tell you a lot about their character, about who they are. It's why I don't like changing Morrigan out of her robes, because I think those robes say so much about who she is. And I do take that into account when I'm designing my characters. And with Artin, what I was going for was she's a princess. She has certain standards she needs to maintain, but she is also a warrior. And she's very practical and pragmatic. She doesn't have time for things that are very fashionable in Ozma, you know, like 100 buttons on each sleeve. Like, she doesn't have time for that. So I went with a hairstyle that is, you know, it is styled, but it's also very short and appropriate for battle. She does wear makeup, but it's all very natural. She's kind of going for a no makeup kind of look. As I said, she's a warrior, but at the same time, she has to be the example for her people. Women should want to be her, men should want to be with her. And I think I achieved that. I also think with like her face shape, I was going for someone who was very beautiful, but there's also like a coldness to it. And I think I achieved that. What would Artin say here? It is just hair, but as I mentioned, she understands that as a princess of Orzammar, she is also a symbol. So it's not just hair. But I don't think she'd be so invested in it to be like, oh, but it's so stubborn. I think she'd just take the compliment. My hair? Thank you.
It's very nice, and it suits you. Simple. Not like the elaborate hairstyles we wore in Orlais. They involved flowers, ribbons, jewels. 1 year, feathers were all the rage, and Lady Elise decided she needed to outdo everyone else, and actually wore live songbirds in her voluminous hair.
Wow.
The chirping was quite charming for a while, but you must realize, terrified little birdies often have loose bowels.
Why are you telling me this? Dear makeup, poor birds, poor Lady Elise. Yeah, the birds didn't ask to be in Lady Elise's hair. Poor birds.
Yes, I don't envy them. She never washed her hair. But I was trying to say something nice to you, wasn't I? Oh, forgive me. My mind wanders so. It's just that I feel so comfortable talking to you. Like I could say anything and you wouldn't judge me.
Well, we are friends, aren't we? And I actually do like the way you ramble. One time, maybe I just keep it to myself. Aha! You're mistaken. You're far too frivolous for my liking. Not number 2. Artin doesn't swing that way. Artin isn't attracted to women. Presumably, we wouldn't be getting this conversation if we hadn't raised Leliana's friendship level substantially. I can't see a reason why Artin wouldn't like Leliana. My thought is that, like, have they really talked a lot? Are they friends? Like, I don't think Artin dislikes Leliana. She is very interesting. And she has an interesting outlook on the world. Not number 2, not number 4. Artin doesn't hate Leliana. And I don't like number 3 either. Again, I'm left with number 1. I wouldn't have necessarily said that Artin views Leliana as a friend. I think that's a little strong there. But there isn't a response for like, oh no, like, I like you in a friendly way. Well, we are friends, aren't we?
Yes, very much so. I haven't felt this close to anyone in a long time. I really enjoy your company.
You are a treasured friend, Leliana. And do you often enjoy the company of other women? I think you're getting the wrong idea. Right, enough of that. Let's talk about my hair some more. Again. I think I just have to double down on the friendship, Leliana, friendship line. You are a treasured friend, Leliana.
Thank you. I am honored that you feel that way.
I mean, they haven't really had any arguments. Yet she's only at plus 35. Well, those were my only options. It's rather unfortunate. I'm sad there wasn't just a neutral, friendly line. It was either romance, be an arsehole, or you are my dearest friend and confidant. Now then, Wynne?
So, tell me, how did you become a Grey Warden?
The short story, I met Duncan and he liked me. I was cast out to die in the Deep Roads where I met Duncan. I'd rather not share that. Yeah, Artin doesn't have any, hang-ups about giving personal information to her companions. She wants them to trust her. How can she achieve that if she doesn't put some trust in them? I think if they started asking very personal questions, then she'd be a bit, ooh, I'm not too fond of this. Like, I think if they were to start asking, like, so what went down? Tell us the nitty-gritty about Balin. Then she'd be like, how is that any of your business? That's family business. I was cast out to die in the Deep Roads, where I met Duncan.
You survived the Deep Roads and the Darkspawn that dwell there? Truly, you were born to be a Grey Warden.
Born the esteemed child of King Endron, and now nothing. It's the hope of confronting my brother that keeps me going. I prefer this life. I can sleep more soundly, it seems. Ooh. I don't know what she'd say. So, my issue with number 1 is that she's not nothing. She's a Grey Warden. My issue with number 2... I've mentioned this in the past. Artin has very complicated feelings when it comes to Balin. On one hand, she's proud of the fact that he was able to use diplomacy to his advantage. Artin always kind of viewed herself as the most diplomatic of her siblings. And the fact that her brother was able to play the game of dwarven politics so well, she feels like a sick sense of pride. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that she doesn't hold a grudge. I'm not saying that she isn't angry about what Balin did. I'm just saying she's very conflicted. On one hand, she is like, I want his head on a platter. I am pissed. He left me to die. I do think that Artin and Balin were close, so there is a level of how could he do this to me? At the same time, she is like, I'm so proud that he was able to do this. I'm so proud that he was able to make all of these connections right under my nose. I never thought he was capable of that. And I think the fact that she feels that way does make her feel like, oh, I shouldn't feel that way. He betrayed me completely. I could have died. I shouldn't feel so proud. She's very conflicted. And does she prefer this life? She loves Orzammar. She loves her home, and the fact that she's been banished, and if it weren't for the fact that she were a Grey Warden, she would never be able to go back. But she can sleep more. I think she slept pretty soundly in Orzammar, to be honest. Definitely not number one. Because she isn't nothing. And I don't think she would ever put herself down to that level to be like, I'm nothing. It's like, she has a lot of pride. And I don't think she would ever think that way. And I don't think it's the hope of confronting Balin. I think she's kind of put that to the back of her mind. Her main thought is, if I can stop the Darkspawn up here, there'll be less of them to go back down to Orzammar, and that way I can still serve my homeland. I prefer this life. I can sleep more soundly, it seems.
Take heart, dear friend. You survived, even when you were not expected to. We do not know yet what lies in store for you, or the name you carry. It is not so bad, is it, being a Grey Warden?
Being exiled has given me a freedom I never had before. Orzammar has forgotten me, but I will protect her, yes. I just hope that I can show the strength Duncan saw in me. I'm happy as long as I get to test my steel in battle. Exactly number 2. Also the fact that she's been stripped from the memories, that pisses her off quite a bit. Orzammar has forgotten me, but I will protect her.
Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to. That it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be.
I think I only spoke to Leliana once, so I'll finish off my conversations with Wynne, then I'll do Liliana's last conversation.
I must ask, what does being a Grey Warden mean to you?
Okay, it means I've been chosen to do something important. Glory and honor on the battlefield. I suppose it's about killing as many Darkspawn as possible. It means everyone needs to show me some respect. I don't know. Does it have to mean something? It means I've been chosen to do something important.
There's that, of course. But there's more to being a Grey Warden than killing Darkspawn and saving the world from the Blight. Ultimately, being a Grey Warden is about serving others. About serving all people, whether elves or dwarves or men.
But mainly the dwarves. But the Grey Wardens bow to no one. I don't quite understand. You mean to say I serve as a protector? I serve no one, and don't you forget it. You mean to say I serve as a protector?
As a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of men.
Mostly dwarves.
And you guard them because their continued existence is more important than you are. Thus it is you who serves, not they.
I will keep that in mind. I suppose that makes sense. I wish I could be served instead. I will keep that in mind.
A good king, a true king who cares for his land, uses his power to rule firmly but fairly. He serves his people first and foremost. The king who does not do this, who believes that he is entitled to his power, who abuses it and uses it for his own means, is a tyrant.
So in a way, having power confines you. Many kings are tyrants. I don't want power. I've never wanted it. If I'm strong enough to take power, then I deserve it. Ooh. It's 1 or 3. It is definitely 1 or 3. Because I've mentioned this before, Artin, so much of dwarven society is, I'm gonna rise above my station. I may not be able to rise above my caste, but I'm gonna rise so that I'm the top of my caste. I'm gonna be the best warrior, or I'm gonna be the best noble, blah blah blah. And because Artin was a princess, there was really nowhere for her to go. She already was at the top. And rather than kind of be consumed by this idea of, I need to rise, but I have nowhere to rise to, but I need to rise, she just kind of went, I'm fine where I am. So it is absolutely true that she doesn't want power, as she has never wanted it. At the same time, I think she also feels like having power does confine you. She knew her role she knew what her role was from being a very young age, that she was the Princess of Orzammar. That means X, Y, and Z, and therefore she must do X, Y, and Z. And kind of, how do I put this? Now that she's no longer in the line of succession for Orzammar, she's now making decisions that affect all of Ferelden. If she was the Queen of Orzammar, she'd affect Orzammar. She's, as I said, she's sorted out the Circle of Magi. She's been doing stuff in Redcliffe. She's, like, her actions are having an effect that will, you know, sweep across an entire nation. I don't want power. I've never wanted it.
If you live apart from others, and your actions affect only you, then you may do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and strength, your every action will be as a drop of water in a clear, still pond. The drop causes ripples, and ripples spread. Think of how far they will go, how wide they will become, how will they affect the pond. But I've lectured enough for today. I should stop before I wear out my welcome.
Oh, it's no worries, Wynne. It's always nice to have someone there to lecture you, to keep you on the straight and narrow. Now, Leliana.
Something I can help with?
I'd like to talk to you about something. I think you should go. Never mind. I'd like to talk to you about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Tell me a tale, Leliana. Why did you decide to come to Ferelden? I've heard that in Orlais, minstrels are often spies. Ooh. Why did you decide to come to Ferelden?
My mother was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden. Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When Orlais was defeated and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her. I was born in Orlais and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it.
What happened to your mother? Why did she leave Ferelden then? Was she not happy in Orlais? Presumably she left Ferelden because she had a steady job that she liked. And it's not about whether she was happy in Orlais. Ferelden was her home. It's like with Artin. Artin isn't unhappy right now, but she misses Orzammar dearly. What happened to your mother?
Mother died when I was very young. Lady Cecily let me stay with her. I had no one else. She was quite old then, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecily than my mother.
Do you remember nothing of your mother? You were young, it's understandable. What was Cecily like? That's just too bad she's gone. Do you remember nothing of your mother?
Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dried flowers in her closet amongst her clothes. Small white Ferelden wildflowers with a sweet fragrance. Mother called them Andraste's Grace. They were very rare in Orlais. But enough about that. Let us move on.
We did pick up some wildflowers. Yep, Andraste's Grace. Here you go, Leliana.
Flowers? Thank you. They're very pretty.
Smell them. Smell them. No, we're not going for that. These are your mother's flowers, aren't they? Don't you recognize them? These are your mother's flowers, aren't they?
These were her favorite. I haven't seen these in such a long time. They smell just like Mother used to. Thank you. Thank you so much for remembering.
No worries, Leliana. No worries at all. Now then, from here, I'm thinking either Alistair or Sten next, but unfortunately, I am out of time for this episode. Let's go back to the campfire. I like this spot. Now then, so until next time, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Kallista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.